Mary Felter is back this week to talk about an important program called Making the Link. This helps caregivers access services in the area. Mary?
Thank you, Carla. Today my guest is Barbara Buckleichner, who is the coordinator of our MAP program at the Department of Aging and Disabilities. MAP stands for Maryland Access Point, which is a starting point for people who need information on various resources available at so many different agencies in the state and the county, sometimes even on a national level. Welcome to the program, Barbara.
Thank you, Mary. It's nice to be here.
I asked you to the program today because you all are starting a new program called Making the Link. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, well, certainly Making the Link is from a federal initiative started in 2002 for the Departments of Aging. And basically, Making the Link is to tap a hidden resource for information assessment.
Why the medical community? Why are you reaching out to them?
Okay, well, let me give you an example. Let's just say family members come home and they see their parents or their loved ones and they're really not doing so well. They've noticed a real change in how they are coping, and so they see a loss of independence. And if the child or the caregiver lives nearby, then they can step up and assist. But if they live farther away, then they'll need to get resources from other people.
And that resource could be a physician then?
Right. Well, normally the first step is to go to a physician to see basically what the problem is and what resources there are to help handle the problem. But many times physicians don't know all the resources that we have in the Department of Aging. And so what we've developed is a very simple tool to assist the physician in linking these patients to our services.
So what have you put together?
Okay, well, the way it works is we have come up with a very simple RX pad.
Oh, okay.
And basically when the patient asks about transportation or Meals on Wheels or getting some care into the home, personal care, or sometimes it can be prescription medicine advice as to how they can get better
prices
health
on
insurance and that type of thing. All the physician has to do is just hand them one of these little cards and say, this is a little bit too much information for today, but if you call these people, these folks, they'll be able to help you.
That sounds like a good idea. Are you going to expand this program? Are you going to go past the physician's office?
Yeah. Right now what we're doing is we are also meeting with emergency response teams so that in ambulances there will be these RX cards. And also there's the medical home model, and these things will be available for certain practices.
That sounds like a really good idea. And if I were a medical professional, how can I make the link?
Well, that's very easy. Just call the Department of Aging, and we'll be happy to meet with the healthcare professionals and explain.
In their office?
In their office, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We make office visits and talk to them about the program, explain it to them a little bit. Many times also a patient will leave the doctor and go to the receptionist and say, oh my gosh, you know, he wants to see my mom 3 times a week and I can't get her here. How can I go about it? And we do provide transportation, so the receptionist just has to give them one of our cards and start the process that way.
One of the RX pad colorful
yes.
little sheets of paper.
They're very
so.
colorful so they don't get lost.
That's a good idea.
Yes, exactly.
And is there a number that anyone can call for MAP to get this information?
Yeah, the telephone number is 410-222-4257.
Would you repeat that for our viewers?
Yes, it's 410-222-4257.
And that's going to connect someone to the Maryland Access Point and also give them Making the Link.
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you, Barbara, for coming on the program today and letting our viewers know about this new program at the Department of Aging and Disabilities, and I appreciate your giving us your time.
Well, thank you, Mary. It's been a pleasure.
This is Mary Felter, Public Information Officer for the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities, and you've been watching Making the Link with Barbara Buck-Leitner, coordinator of our MAP program at the department. Back to you, Carla.
Thanks, Mary.
What's coming up?
What's coming up? We're going to discuss the Senior Idol competition.
Senior Idol. So it's not American Idol. That's the guy, Simon Cowell's no longer on that program,
No,
right?
Steven Tyler is, and J-Lo now instead of Paula Abdul.
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
J-Lo. Some people may not know who J-Lo is. I didn't know who J-Lo was.
I think
for a
our
while
viewers do.
I think you're right. Well, I tell you, I've got to, you watch American Idol, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched it in a couple of years. I hear, though, that it's good this year, that everybody's very relaxed, and Simon's not there, so he's not yelling at anybody, making them uncomfortable. But think about some of the people that have come through that program. Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson,
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson. If there was no American Idol,
Would we
would
know
they have
them?
ever been discovered as talented out there?
And win an Oscar like Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we have some of our seniors in our county. Hopefully they'll be discovered as well, and that's what we're going to talk about. American Idol fans, we had our very own version of the popular show last week for senior citizens. 2 talented seniors will have a chance to compete against the best in the state next month. Shirley Valencia, a hairdresser at Nancy's Styling Salon in Brooklyn Park, and Betty Rossler of Severn, who began singing at the age of 5 on the Candy Corner television show on Channel 11. They took home the crown. Valencia sang The Way We Were, and Rossler sang Don't You Make My Brown Eyes Blue. A dozen senior citizens, all aged between 60 and 80, competed at the competition at the Paschal Center. The 2 winners move on to the 5th Annual Maryland Senior Idol Vocal Competition on March 30th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Chesapeake Arts Center in Brooklyn Park. Tickets are $6 and may be purchased at the door. Come cheer on our own idols for a good cause. Proceeds go to benefit the Maryland Food Bank. For more information, call 410-636-6597 or go to www.chesapeakearts.org.
That's just a great story. I mean, it's
It
just,
is.
you know, the senior, when you look at our senior centers in this county, how important they are. I mean, they have pool tournaments, they have senior idol competitions, they have wonderful classes. I mean,
Educational programs, they're so active.
they really are. I mean, it's just great that, you know, there's an avenue for folks that have worked their entire lives, you know, they've raised their families, that they've got something that they can do during the day and really be involved with their peers.
And they teach each other classes too.
Absolutely.
Whatever their specialties might be, exercise classes, photography classes.
Well, let's talk about weather classes. I mean, we
Okay.
talked about some crazy weather around here.
We
as
have
you
been
know.
having crazy weather, snow, winds.
70-degree temperatures
70-degree
in February.
temperatures.
It's been just wacky. But I read something a few days back that we have this approaching solar storm out there. And I don't get anybody alarmed. It sounds really Star Wars type stuff. But apparently, over the course of the next year, 2, 3 years here, we have the real possibility of having solar weather that's actually going to possibly affect some of our telecommunications facilities. Some of our power grids could be affected by this. And this happens to the Earth from time to time,
Right.
10, 20, 30-year cycles. But because of the emergence of technology and how dependent we are on satellites and power grids, this could really wreak havoc on us.
When's the last time it's happened?
I believe it was 15 years ago.
Okay.
And you didn't have the type of
That's true.
satellite
Yeah.
communications that we have now.
The kind
So-
of, even the internet, as much as we rely upon it now.
So it's amazing that, you know, technology has emerged, but there are forces out there that could damage our
Yeah.
technology and damage our quality
Mother
of life.
Nature's still a
probably
force.
briefly. Yeah, it is. Don't mess with her. I don't. Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. That is, if we don't have a solar storm. Archived episodes are available at blip.tv and YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes. Please tune in again with us next week as we'll have more highlights and news from around your county. We'll see you next time.